It is officially the F1 summer shutdown, a period where no F1 team is allowed to work, representing a rare opportunity to stop, breathe, and relax. But not at Racing News 365. The summer shutdown represents a chance to look back on the 14 completed rounds, marking 58.8% of the 2025 season. It is a time for statistical heaven, with so many facts and figures able to be dissected. Which brings us on to today's video, looking at each driver's average qualifying results so far this season, and as a result, the average starting grid. But before we get on with our qualifying deep dive, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the Racing News 365 channel. Now, let's get on with the video. Qualifying is traditionally the most intense part of a Grand Prix weekend, with one mistake being the difference of an early exit, making it to the next stage, or even pole position. Lando Norris found that out the hard way in Saudi Arabia, where he crashed out on his first hot lap in Q3, ending his pursuit of pole. On the topic of pole positions, McLaren has claimed the most with 8 from the 14 completed rounds, 4 each for Norris and championship leader Oscar Piastri. Interestingly, despite Red Bull's problems with the RB21, Max Verstappen has also claimed pole 4 times in 2025. As for the other 2 poles this year, they were claimed by George Russell and Charles Leclerc. Whilst every driver dreams of pole position, every driver's worst nightmare is an embarrassing Q1 exit. In 2025 so far, Stake F1's Nico Hülkenberg has suffered the most exits from the first part of qualifying. The German has been eliminated from Q1 10 times this year and is one of 3 drivers to have not made a single Q3 appearance. The other 2 are Alpine's Jack Doohan and Franco Colapinto. Aston Martin's Lance Stroll has experienced the second most Q1 exits on 9, whilst Gabriel Bortoleto and Esteban Ocon have faced 7 Q1 exits. Notably, Red Bull's Yuki Tsunoda has faced 4 Q1 exits in the last 8 races. Here is a fun fact: Piastri, Norris, Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc and Isaac Hadjar are the only drivers to have not faced a single Q1 exit in 2025. On the topic of fun qualifying facts, only 3 drivers have made every Q3 session this year. Can you name them? I'll give you 5 seconds. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Got them? Piastri, Norris and Verstappen is the correct answer. Of course, in the Formula 1 qualifying, one thing is more important than anything else: qualifying ahead of your teammate. That is something Fernando Alonso has achieved in every qualifying in 2025 against Stroll, dominating the Canadian driver 14-0 in their qualifying head-to-head. George Russell has also dominated against Mercedes teammate Kimi Antonelli, with the Briton currently leading the Italian rookie 13-1. It is a similar story, unsurprisingly, at Red Bull, where Verstappen has a 12-0 record against Tsunoda for 2025. At Ferrari, it is bad news for 104-time pole sitter Lewis Hamilton, who is currently losing 10-4 to Leclerc. The next most dominant performance over a teammate is Isaac Hadjar against Liam Lawson, with the French-Algerian score against Lawson being 9-3 at Racing Bulls. At Williams, Alex Albon is beating Carlos Sainz 8-6, the same head-to-head scoreline at Stake and McLaren. In those 2 teams, it is Piastri and Bortoleto who come out on top. Interestingly, Haas are the only team with a level head-to-head score in qualifying, with Ocon and Oliver Behrman having out-qualified each other 7 times each. That leaves one team, Alpine, where one thing is certain: Pierre Gasly has been its lead driver by a country mile. The Frenchman's record against Jack Doohan was 5-1, whilst he is currently beating Franco Colapinto 6-2. So far in this video, we've looked at who has claimed pole positions, who has faced the most Q1 exits, and who is winning each team head-to-head. It leaves one area left to cover: what is each driver's average qualifying result so far this season, and as a result, what does the average grid look like? A small disclaimer, this does not include grid penalties and is purely based on where a driver qualified. From 20th to pole position, let's take a look. This rundown does not include Jack Doohan, as he is not currently on the grid. But for those wondering, his average qualifying result across his 6 Grand Prix was 15.5, with 11th in Bahrain being his best individual qualifying result. At the back of the grid is Colapinto, the driver who replaced Doohan at Alpine from the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Colapinto has an average qualifying result of 16.38, with 12th in Canada being his best. Joining Colapinto on the last row in 19th is Hülkenberg on an average qualifying result of 16.14 and a best result of 12th in China. 18th is Lance Stroll with an average of 15.71, with his best individual qualifying result this year being 6th in the Hungarian Grand Prix last time out. Next in 17th is Haas rookie Oliver Bearman on 15.21 and a best qualifying result of 8th in Silverstone. Unfortunately, he didn't start from 8th due to a 10-place grid penalty. Bearman's teammate Esteban Ocon is 16th on the average qualifying results grid with an average of 14.93 and a best result of 8th in Monaco. 15th is Brazilian rookie Gabriel Bortoleto, 4 places ahead of veteran teammate Hülkenberg thanks to an average of 14.43 and a best result of 7th in Hungary. Liam Lawson is 14th, with a fun fact of the New Zealander's season being he has only scored points in races he has progressed to Q3. His average qualifying result is 13.79, with his best result being 6th in Austria. Pierre Gasly is next in 13th at the head of the 7th row, courtesy of an average qualifying result of 12.43, almost 4 full positions better than Colapinto. Gasly's best individual qualifying result so far is 5th in Bahrain. Yuki Tsunoda, despite being a Red Bull driver, is 12th, with his average being 12.36, not helped by 4 Q1 exits in the last 8 races. Remarkably, his best qualifying result this season was 5th in Australia, before he moved to Red Bull. Williams' Carlos Sainz is 11th with an average of 11.93 and a personal best result this year of qualifying 6th 3 times in Saudi Arabia, Miami and Imola. At the foot of the top 10 is Fernando Alonso, 8 places ahead of Stroll. Alonso's average qualifying result is 10.93, with 5th on the grid, having been claimed in Imola and Hungary. Alex Albon is 9th with an average of 10.5 and a best qualifying result of 5th in Belgium. 8th is Isaac Hadjar with an impressive average qualifying result of 9.93 and a best result of 6th in Monaco. The 4th row is an all-rookie affair, as Hadjar is joined by Mercedes' Kimi Antonelli. The young Italian has struggled in recent qualifying sessions, but still has an average of 9.21. His clear best result, 3rd in Miami. Moving into the top 6, and next up is Lewis Hamilton on an average qualifying result of exactly 8th. He is some way behind the top 5, with his best qualifying result being 4th in Monaco and Austria. Hamilton's Ferrari teammate Leclerc is 5th on the average qualifying results grid, comfortably ahead of the 7-time world champion with an average of 5.14. Clearly, his best individual result was pole in Hungary. Mercedes' George Russell is 4th on 4.43, with the Britain's pole in Canada being his best qualifying result. Alongside Russell on the 2nd row is Max Verstappen, who thanks to pole positions in Japan, Saudi Arabia, Imola and Silverstone has an average qualifying result of 3.5. Considering Red Bull's difficulties, it is a remarkable average result for Verstappen, as it is just 0.21 behind a spot on the front row. Narrowly beating Verstappen for the 2nd spot on the front row is Lando Norris, who despite 4 poles in Australia, Monaco, Austria and Belgium has been inconsistent in qualifying. Norris's average qualifying result is 3.29, comfortably adrift of the average qualifying results pole sitter. That pole sitter is championship leader Oscar Piastri, who is comfortably the best average qualifying result of 2.14. As mentioned at the start of this video, Piastri also has 4 pole positions in 2025, claimed in China, Bahrain, Imola and Spain. However, what gives him the strongest score is the fact he has only qualified outside the top 3 once all season, and that was when he qualified in 4th in Imola. So there you have it, the average qualifying results grid from 2025 so far. How crucial could those average qualifying result figures be come the end of the season when the titles are decided? Surprised by the results? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the Racing News 365 channel. Until next time, see you later.